Hi everyone. I'm up at the Hope Centre at the back. Um, there's a couple of things I need to say. What went on here last year in the local town was, how things were run in the local town, and it was really wrong. Well, we know that. Some of the things that happened where they wouldn't help in any way, and they closed the bus stop down, and the abuses and everything else that went on in the town. We know all about that, and the people that were doing this, they did damage tourism. I had a lot of tourists come to me and say they would never come back to Molivos again because even they were being threatened when they were helping the refugees. Okay, that's all in the past. That's done. There's nothing we can do about that. Things are going to be hard this year. We know it. I have a business to run. I have to survive as well as everyone else. The one thing I have to say, these people that caused all of these abuses and everything else, and made some really, really bad mistakes, and everything was blamed onto me because I was given a bottle of water and I was helping babies and that. I mean, it is a tourist town in that, and there shouldn't be this type of racism in the town towards anyone. That is very wrong. The town's here to look after tourists and support tourists and foreigners from all walks of life, and that's what it's about, the big Greek heart. These people that caused all this trouble last year, and are still causing a certain extent at the moment, at the end of the year they got into with aid agencies and things like that, and these people that caused all the trouble, all of a sudden they're helping. And they're getting contracts for hire vans and insurance and land. There's deals going on and all things like this. So one minute they're there saying we don't want this and we're going to make these refugees suffer and everything else, and the next minute they're filling their bank accounts up because they're these, they can sign all these contracts and everything else. It's sick. That is sick. And they've done a lot of damage. To the local town in more than one way. I've been told there will be prosecutions, and I really hope there is. I hope this is not just something that's going to go away because these people are very important people and they can do what they like, and they can abuse people and everything else and make lots of money from other people. I really hope that there are prosecutions here, and some of these people are brought in the courts and brought to justice for what they did. Anyway, the other thing is, Molivos is a very, very beautiful place. It's absolutely fantastic. These abuses were caused by a few people on the top, and these few people, they have a lot of influence, and the people underneath are frightened of them. I don't think so much now. I think the things are changing in the town quite dramatically. I think a lot of people realise what damage these people have done in the town. And I think when all of a sudden they started getting into dealing with all these contracts and things with different aid agencies and NGOs, and I think people could see what was really going on here. And there is even the lies going on. That one guy saying, what a great hero he is and what he done, and he was one of the big abusers last year. And people giving bottles of water in front of cameras, but behind their backs they're doing something completely different. And I think a lot of people, people in the town a lot of them are very intelligent, and most of them have big hearts. It's just these few that have done this damage to the town, and they blamed it all onto me and all the rumours about me. I can't go back to England and I can't do this and can't. And it got, to such a stage. I'm a space alien and I drink petrol and I bite heads off of lizards and I drink refugees' blood. It's all these things. These things shouldn't happen. Okay, sorry, I've just been interrupted. These things shouldn't happen. These people, I really hope, will be taken into account. I hope there's not going to be a cover-up here, because things are going on here, and I've seen now, in the last year, I've seen how corrupt people are. I really have seen the corruption to a massive extent. you know, and people are screaming and shouting at me I'm rich and everything else because of what I did and everything else, and that's a load of rubbish. I still drive around in my little 3-cylinder Daewoo. I am still struggling. I'm still struggling to pay the bills and things. But anyway, that's my problem. That's no one else's problem. The other thing we need to do is, you know, I had a whinge then, and it doesn't sound good. I hear a lot of people saying, you know, oh, we have to lay off staff, we have to do this, we have to do that, and everything else. I have said about this before, you know, the people that really were suffering last year and that, they opened the winter. They filled their restaurants, they filled their, you know, they had a lot of people in their shops buying things, the ones that wanted to open. A lot of the hotels were open. And they were open for 7 months where they normally wouldn't open. So they, I wouldn't say took advantage of the situation, they used their common sense. And they opened because they know that this year's not going to be that good. But you'll find most of these people that are whinging, the majority of them didn't open their hotels and they didn't open their restaurants and everything else. At Christmas I couldn't find anywhere to put anyone. I've heard the excuses, oh, we didn't have central heating and things like this in the hotel, so we didn't really want to put people up. I mean, one person that said that in particular, they had people in the hotel from aid agency, that was okay, but they couldn't put volunteers in the town, and they're really suffering, this hotel. You know, we don't have anyone. They didn't have anyone last year. They were 80% down last year, but they can close all winter for 7 months and just put people from aid agencies up in this hotel. You know, it's going to be hard. We know it's going to be hard, but we really have to look at what happened here and really what good was done here. You know, there's an amazing amount of good. Mytilene's still full now. You know, people coming now, they can't find anywhere in Mytilene to stay. And it's been like that all winter. And now we're coming towards the end of May. Because they have big hearts and everything else, and they've opened them up and they're doing the best they can. And I was down there yesterday, and it was really nice to see Syrian women walking around the streets doing their shopping and things like this, because a lot of refugees are stuck on the island, and we really have to deal with this situation. And Mytilene opened their hearts up. Fair play to Mytilene. You've done an absolutely fantastic job. The mayor of Mytilene, you know, it's been a really hard time for him, but he done a fantastic job. Scarlet Sycamenia, everything. I mean, there's been so many people that have done fantastic jobs. And then you had these people that done really horrible things last year, and then they capitalised on it and made a lot of money out of it. And now they're going back to whinging and, you know, oh, it's all this and all that, and it's his fault and her fault, and, you know, that restaurant's closing down and that's doing this. You know, why don't you act in a positive way and say what a fantastic job we did here? So when people around the world see these reports, they know what a fantastic job Molivos did under all the pressure. Not just the pressure from these few that tried to ruin everything, but all the other pressure of hundreds of thousands of refugees coming in, NGOs coming in, everything else. There was a lot of good people. A lot of good people helped. So why don't we be a bit more positive and stop whinging and moaning? Because if I was a holiday maker anywhere else in the world, you know, and I'm looking at all this whinging and moaning, oh, we got no money, we have to sack people, we have to do this, you know, I've got no money at all. And there they are, they've been jetting off on holidays and things like this and doing contracts and things like this. You know, that doesn't help us at all. That really doesn't help us. We have to be positive inside. We have to really say, you know, we've done a fantastic job. We've done something not the rest of the world couldn't do. We were like Mytilene, you know, we did do it. Okay, there's a bit of a blue lie there in certain extents, but there was a lot of people in the town that done a lot of good, and that's what we should emphasise on. The people that did good in the town, and what they had to put up with. The people, the farmers that came out and helped us on the beaches. You know, the town that come out and helped us clean up on the beaches and things like this, and how nice they were to the refugees and what we did. We've done an amazing job. Why don't we put that out there instead of whinging and moaning all the time? And when that goes out there, people are going to think, God, these are some people, you know, let's go and have a holiday there, you know. They're not going to come to a place where people are whinging and moaning, oh, I got 80% down, I haven't got this, or I haven't got that, you know. This is wrong. This is stupidity. You know, this is some sort of stupid mentality. It's, you know, I've heard so many rumours and so many things, and not many of them I believe, you know. Some of them I do, and some could be quite feasible, you know, that these people that caused all the damage last year and everything else, they deliberately wanted, so house prices go down in Molivos because tourism goes down in Molivos, and they're the ones with the money and they can go and buy them. You know, things like that is plausible. You know, things about me being a space alien, well, it's possible as well, I suppose, but we'll see. But, you know, we really have to change our attitude in the town. And it's down to the people now. You really have to come out now. If you really want to save your channel, and I've said it time and time again, you know, you're the ones running the channel. There's a lot of you with good hearts. I've spoken to a lot of you. I've been on the beaches with a lot of you. You've given me a lot of stuff undercover because you couldn't do it in front of these people. You really have to change it. And you really have to say enough of what's gone on in this town. We really have to make this town grow. You know, we really have to put positive energy in. You know, and hopefully, you know, if there is prosecutions, hopefully some of them will be here. And we will stop what's going on here, what's gone on here for the last few years and everything else. So we will stop these people. I know they have a lot of influence. I know they have a lot of money, and I know what they're doing. This has to stop, you know, because these people are wrong. They were wrong last year. They've done this town a lot of damage, and they're wrong now. You know, they're wrong now for whinging and everything else. It shouldn't happen. So I really hope, you know, there is some evidence on these people. I know there is some pictures on Facebook with these people with the heads of these aid agencies and things, arm in arm on fields and stuff, doing deals. Okay, and I know there was a lot of deals regarding minibuses and insurances and lots of things going on here that should never have been going on, and it was the people that tried to cause all the damage that didn't want refugees last year. I had one the other week. He wanted to kill 200 refugees out here, so they stopped coming this year. You know, putting stuff out like that is disgusting. You know, that we have to stop that. Well, now we have to build on it. You know, like I was speaking to the mayor, and he's going to build a museum. Fantastic. You know, people will come to see the museum. You know, he's building on Mytilene. He's doing his best, but then you have this counterproductive few, very few, that have done a lot of damage to this town. You know, you find Scala Sycamenia booming, you find all the little villages around in there are doing quite well. On the west coast they're doing very, very bad. You know, but we need to bring more people in. We need to be positive. We need to be saying, you know, look what we did, we done it. You know, what fantastic people we are here and everything else. And the only way we're going to do that is by all being positive and getting rid of this filth this here, this absolute filth. Yeah, and getting rid of them, because they don't care about your business, they don't care about my business, they don't care about refugees, they don't care about nothing except their own self. Yeah, and they've done a lot of damage here last year, and this is why we're going to be very quiet this year. You know, so now we have to be very, very positive. You know, a lot of good people here, fantastic people. Yeah, now it's down to these fantastic people to start asking questions and things and start moving this rubbish out, get it out. You know, we don't need it here anymore. Okay, okay, we can do it. This year's going to be quiet. You know, there is some fantastic people in Molivos, and Molivos is a beautiful place, and for anyone that wants to come to a beautiful place on holiday, honestly, it is fantastic. And Scala's fantastic, Mytilene is fantastic, Lesbos is absolutely incredible. You can hear the birds here now. You know, it is one hell of a beautiful island. Greece is a beautiful place. If you're going to book your holidays, come on. Support Greece. You know, the EU have run down Greece, the European governments have run down Greece, European Commission's run down Greece, the media's run down Greece, and it's an absolutely fantastic place with some fantastic people with massive great hearts. Some of the stories that have gone on here are just incredible, absolutely incredible. Okay, all the best everyone, bye.